Welcome to another episode of Not Your Average PT. You're here with Ben and myself, and today we're here with Mr. Jack Suthers.
Hello, hello.
How are you, mate?
Very good, very good.
Good morning so far?
Yeah, great morning. Great energy in the studio. Clients are all good.
Yeah.
Doing well. Yeah, very good.
Pretty good for a Friday, yeah?
Yeah, very good. Everyone's realised it's Friday, so we're training hard.
I don't know what it is sometimes about Fridays actually. It's like a different energy.
Oh, imagine you wake up Monday thinking it's Friday and train with the same energy. We went pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. There's a good takeaway straight away. Pretend every day's Friday. Right, mate, we're going to dive into introducing yourself, obviously on the pod, and to everyone listening as well. So, going to cover off on a few little subjects there, but obviously you're one of the personal trainers in the studio, mate. You've been with us for about a year and 3 months or something like that.
Yeah, about that.
So you started in the COVID, the outdoor training, mate.
Yeah, thrown straight into the mud at Ducky's Oval.
How did you find that initial start?
Interesting. Really had to think on the spot. A lot of body movement stuff. What can I do with the dumbbell? Get creative with the kettlebell.
Yeah.
Core exercises, but yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Prefer being in the studio definitely, but
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun being out of the oval.
Yeah, I actually miss a little bit of that now, even just being outside sometimes, like days like today, it's good, but maybe not so much with training, but I definitely think that having the outside element is definitely a good key sometimes.
Yeah, on a good day it's great.
Yeah.
Definitely agree.
Right, mate, what do you enjoy, I suppose, about being a personal trainer? What's all like, why are you a personal trainer? Why do you not choose something else?
Biggest thing for me is how much of a positive impact we make on lives. I know for myself, I was going on my own fitness journey, talking to somebody, having someone guide me in the right direction really helped me lead to where I am, sorry. So I think if I can help anybody in the way that I got help, that's what really motivates me.
Yeah.
Seeing the change in people's lives.
Yeah, it's quite rewarding, isn't it, when you obviously can.
Yeah.
We just had a client in this morning in particular, and the impact you've had of them. They've like the way they walk in is completely different.
Yeah.
Now how they started.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's quite powerful.
Yeah.
So you say about your own journey. So I know myself, but where it was, but tell us like where were you sort of like in your own, let's say, physical self, like say 2 or 3 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago, bumped with a few injuries. So those injuries made me go into a bit of a shell. Eat a lot more than what I was used to, or a lot less. Not really focusing on the healthy side of things and how much I should be looking after myself. One day, woke up, got a bit of guidance, what I should be thinking about every single day, putting a bit more focus into my nutrition, started moving a little bit more, waking up a little bit earlier, and just slowly seeing how much of the difference that made in my life was amazing. I was waking up earlier naturally, having a bit more energy in the mornings.
Yeah.
I was getting stronger in my movements, making my days a lot easier. I was eating better food, making me feel so much better. Didn't have any gut problems. I was generally feeling better. I was surfing longer. I was hanging out with my friends longer.
Yeah.
Everything was just becoming a big chain reaction.
What was the body like at the moment? The body shape like back then?
My heaviest I got to 113 kilos.
Yeah.
That was probably when I was feeling my laziest, not waking up very early.
What are you now?
74 kilos.
That's like maybe 30 kilos difference, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of people know that, I don't think, actually.
No, they don't see it very often. The only time they really see it is a photo I've got. I'm holding a turtle, but I'm not holding it with my hands. I'm just resting on my belly.
Oh yeah. your gut laying shelf.
Yeah. That was the only thing it was good for.
What was the defining moment then for you then at that time? Then obviously you were 2 3 years. What 2 years ago, 3 years ago when that was when you sort of like decided to change? Like you were.
About 3 years.
What was the sort of like made you make a decision on that?
I think it was a progressional thing, waking up realizing, where am I going? what am I doing? I just wasn't feeling happy. I wasn't moving much, like I said. I wasn't hanging out with my friends. Like, my hobby was surfing still.
Yeah.
I was slowly just losing surfing. I was in the water for about 10 minutes, absolutely gassed, had a paddle in, and I was just getting in the car and driving home. Told myself, I can't even enjoy what I like doing at the moment, so where am I going? So decided I was just gonna start walking. I met somebody a few years ago who was like, why don't we try a bit of walk run, and then that was just where it's kicked off. Started running a bit longer, then I moved into the gym, going to a bit of weights. Then I realised I can push as many weights as I want to, but still not feeling too good. Then started getting a bit more into my nutrition side of things. Started eating a bit better, and that's where I started feeling more, doing more. And really started kicking off for me.
Yeah, it's good, mate. Obviously, having that personal experience and being able to utilise that to help other people, obviously, you can't really put a price on that, really, can you? Well, sort of like, when the people that you train yourself, like, what sort of like the people who do like take on board what we're saying, like, what or do get a result, what would you say their common traits are? Like, what's sort of like being the key element for that person?
Definitely commitment to a plan. Commitment to a plan's a big one. That can be as simple as food prep per week. So then all your food's prepped. I approve food is going to be the biggest change in the direction we want to go if we're making any body composition changes. Definitely commitment to their cardio or their exercise, daily movement. So daily movement is going to make them feel better, do more productive in the day. I definitely think commitment to the program is a big one.
It's funny, isn't it? But like, people, when you see somebody who doesn't get anywhere, or they just keep on the hamster wheel, and like they might get back and forward, and a lot of the time it is that commitment, isn't it? I suppose.
It's definitely commitment. If you start something, you've got to figure out why is your why so big and why we start in the first place. If you can always relate back to why you started in the first place, the commitment will stick. You just got to have a big enough why.
True. So true, mate. So true. And you obviously, the people who do get there, that's just what they've been able to do week in, week out, isn't it? Not just like flash in the pan sort of thing. What would you say then, from your own perspective, what was your sort of style of like coaching / training and helping people? What's sort of your own personal style, would you say?
For my style, I kind of take on board the client that I'm with at the time. I like to find out specifically why they're training, so back to why their why is so big, and that kind of style is how I train them. So, for example, I've got a client who would like a bit more strength. They just need that extra push, take a bit more of an aggressive approach. Just making sure they're super direct on their movements, they're sticking to the training plan, just giving them the best guidance I can possibly give. Same deal with someone that's wanting any body composition change, but more on the side of nutrition. Just making sure they're eating correctly, just making sure at the same time they're mentally stable, just doing the right thing, just keeping them well on track towards their goals and relating back to what they want.
I would say as well that you're very good at, from myself looking at what you're doing, like how good you are like checking in with people like outside of the training session as well, and that's what a lot of people don't do necessarily as trainers. It's like being able to go just that extra little tiny little message, or that tiny little remember to get in X amount over the weekend, or remember to how well you've done this week, it was such a good session. So just like you say, having that support, I think you do. Obviously, it's kind of like, I suppose, when you care about helping someone.
I've had a few clients tell me I care more about their goals than they care about their goals sometimes. So I'm quite passionate about changing people and making sure they're moving in the right direction to where they want to go.
So let's go into a training. So what is your, like, imagine you're going to train me. Like, you can do anything you want with me as far as training wise.
Lucky good at that.
What would it be? What's your favourite sort of like style? Like, I've got, let's say, all abilities, all levels, perfect person for you. What would you love? What do you love training people with doing?
Me, complex movements. At the moment, it's an area I'm moving into. Just really engages me. It's complex in the word. I find it quite difficult, so it's really test your body.
Yeah.
You figure out where your limits are at.
So
really
is this where you,
testing the limits.
is this where you're talking about like putting like a few movements together
Yep.
into like one repetition
Yeah.
essentially?
So say a deadlift into a clean into an overhead press. That's one rep.
Yeah.
So something where you've got to work through 3 different movements, and you're being tested in every movement.
Yeah.
Not just one. So you really got to switch your brain on.
Yeah, and you're obviously using a lot of muscle tissue and that as well.
Yeah.
I know you say you've got natural ability or taught ability to be able to do it in the first place.
You said you could do them all, so.
Yeah. Ideal situation, yes, definitely, but obviously that's definitely a bit more advanced, I'd say. But if you're enjoying it, mate, it's almost, I'd say, probably agree that you've had your own personal journey with your own training. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, definitely.
What was even I would say even the last year, I noticed how like again looking at what you're doing. I know you play a lot of sport. Talk us really about your training. Like what does a normal training week look like for you right now? So what is that?
Football season is over right now. So
When you're talking football, we're talking like
AFL.
the wrong sheet baller. So is it AFL? Yeah.
That's like a whole other podcast. Alright. My training week right now, I try to split up a bit of a split bro. So my Monday, I'll typically attack my legs. So then I've got the week for my DOMs to hit me and kind of cool down, hit my legs at the end of the week. So Monday will be a bit of legs. My Tuesday, I tend to hit a bit of chest and triceps. My back is on my Wednesday, and a bit of biceps if I can get through my back and still have a bit of energy. On my Thursday, I go through a bit of flow mobility. So I usually just see how my body's feeling. If I need to put a bit more effort into stretching per day, Thursday will be my day to do that. And I go for a bit of a run. Around these days as well, if I can, and the surf's good, I do surf as well. My Friday, I'll try to hit legs again, or a full body. Bit of like a CrossFit kind of day for me.
Yeah.
My Saturday, same deal. I'll go for another maybe hip day, so more bodyweight stuff, high reps, high intensity. And my Sunday, usually a light run, but long distance.
Yeah.
So I usually go for a 15-20 k run.
Yeah. So pretty much most things every day then.
Yeah.
Well, not most things, but training every day. Essentially.
Yeah, if I'm not training per day, I feel like I've wasted my day. That's
Yeah.
the mentality I've got.
Yeah.
I need to get some kind of movement in per day to feel satisfied with my day.
I think you're definitely that personality as well who needs to be doing something.
Oh, that's the ADHD 100%.
Yeah. Activity every day.
Yeah.
I remember as well, I think there's a couple of days where, I can't remember when it was, I think it was a day where, I don't know whether you were sick or you weren't feeling 100% or something, or I think you might finish a bit early and you're like, I just don't want to not do anything for the day, just sit at home, and I hate feeling like I can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd rather do something and feel like crap if I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I think that was like one of my rare days that I had off. I stayed in bed. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I would rather just come in here and, I don't know, bounce off my bum than sitting still there. Just bored.
So obviously not playing for you at the minute. That season's kind of like finished. Obviously I know you used to play Union as well, wasn't it?
Rugby league.
League, sorry, yeah. What's your favourite, mate? What's your favourite sport to play?
Oh, to play currently, AFL definitely.
Why is that?
I think just the endurance side of things, that helped me in dropping a bit of weight as well. Just the running.
Yeah.
A lot of running.
How many Ks would you do in a game?
Per game, anywhere between 12 to 15 kilometers.
Yeah.
In a training session, averagely 7 to 10 kilometers.
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty lot of leg dominant stuff there.
Yeah, definitely.
Endurance.
Yeah, the endurance side of things is fun. Plus, I'm pretty physical, so the tackling side of things,
Yeah.
that's quite an aggressive sport. So it was anything that I was bottling up for the week, come to the weekend, just look at your opponent player and tell them to watch out. Yeah, a bit fun. 9 times out of 10 did work out for me, but
Yeah.
try my best.
Oh, I know you definitely had a few injuries earlier on in the year, and it was, I remember actually maybe just over 6 months ago, I used to get like a phone call every, or like I'm in hospital again, or like I had a concussion last week, or I got knocked out last weekend. It seemed to have, there was always something. Towards the back end of the season, from memory, you weren't as bad, but
Yeah.
the injuries and stuff was,
Yeah, I was out for the biggest one, the crack rib.
yeah.
That got me out for a couple of weeks. Yeah, injuries, fun.
So, and obviously, you're looking at potentially playing next year again. So you're going to make a decision on that a bit later.
Yeah, so I kind of took a big point from something you told me a long time ago, is if you're ever comfortable, you're not growing. For me, I've been trying to make myself as uncomfortable learning a new movement per month. And I've kind of given myself a bit of a goal by March or late April next year. I want to learn some key movements, so I want to be perfect at my snatches, my double unders, handstand walks.
Yeah.
A few other movements in there as well, so mainly CrossFit based. If I can tick those boxes off for myself, I'll be at a stage where I would like to pursue moving into AFL, because I've ticked those boxes off. But if I'm still chipping away at those boxes, quite hit those goals, I might give the season a bit of a miss just to work on my body.
Yeah. Obviously, you've gone into a bit of a different direction than with your training the last few months, would you say?
Yes.
Obviously, did a bit more like CrossFit sort of style.
Yeah. It's just it really tests me. I really am. I'm finding out what my body's capable of.
Yeah.
So I'm just really engaged and loving finding out what I can actually do with my body.
Yeah. And I know you've just been had a little holiday there to Bali. It was there a couple of weeks there. So that was like playtime / training time and a little bit of sightseeing.
Yes, did 15 nights in Bali. Best experience.
Mid-20s is like prime time for holidays, isn't it? I know you're 25. Enjoying like
One thing
experience.
I'll say for anyone listening is my next partner is going to be a European female. Bali.
About European male now.
Not discriminating.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, it was an amazing experience. The training styles over there, learning how people do it in Russia, Germany, Bali itself.
Yeah.
There was just everyone combined, showing me different stretches, movements, how they like to run through a general program, just seeing how the world does it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Also the sights of Bali and the culture, I just absolutely love the food, so nice.
Yeah.
Learning how to cook Indonesian healthy meals was pretty eye-opening. Just a fun experience all around. Just seeing things that I have seen before,
Yeah.
but with a different mindset. That was pretty good. Surfing was always nice.
Yeah.
Got some fancy ink on my body. Yeah, partied hard. It's an all-round good time.
Yeah, well, I know I've been trying to get you to have a break from work for a little while anyway, from training people. Obviously, invest back in yourself again. Did you feel that was well needed?
Yes, definitely. Didn't really realise how much I needed until probably 2 days in there.
Yeah.
And I just closed my eyes for a minute and went, this is nice.
Turn the phone off, like don't worry about having to get back to anyone or just look after yourself, I suppose, a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. But just a bit of a recharge was nice. Didn't realise I needed the recharge until I was recharging.
Yeah, exactly. And to just make sure we're looking after ourselves internally as well is a big key, I think. I was trying to say harder. I think it's definitely harder. It's easier, to say, to give the advice as far as like taking some breaks and stuff. Whereas sometimes you're like, I want to keep going. I'll just keep pushing through. Or I'll just keep going. But I think really every 3 or 4 months, unless it's like a long weekend or a little bit of a trip away. I know last summer when you had your camping stuff, you were doing a bit more of that then, or having a day or two away. Yeah, that was good, I think, as well. But yeah, definitely including that every sort of 3 or 4 months, definitely to recharge and reset, just to break the mold. I probably sort of like suggestion now. Well, yeah. So what were you doing then, mate, before you became personal trainer? Like, what were you doing as far as like career-wise? What were you doing?
I bounced around a few jobs, but one particular stuck at the longest, and I did enjoy it. Was a bush camp instructor.
What?
Bush camp instructor.
Oh yeah.
A lot of fun. So that involved rock climbing, sea kayaking, sailing, just general games with the kids.
What age group with the kids then?
I had all age groups, so I had from year 4 up to year 12.
Yeah. What age? Sorry, is year 4? What? It's like 8.
8, 9, I think.
Yeah.
All the way up to 17, 18.
Yeah.
So your older groups, I take out like sailing, sea kayaking, rock climbing, flying fox boxes we had, drinking bed camps.
Oh, cool.
So basically just make sure they were fed, safe, looked after any injuries we got on the way, instructed them how to do all the activities.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun actually. A lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Obviously, that bit of fitness or a bit of activity was always there.
Yeah, you definitely had to be capable and able to run the job. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What was your favourite kind of experience during that? Would it be like one particular that stands out as far as like a trip or like an event?
Probably definitely the sailing.
Yeah.
It's just always different. Like you're going out in the ocean.
I can't imagine you being a sailor or doing sailing.
I wear pants.
Yeah, you enjoyed that the most?
Yeah, definitely being in the ocean.
Yeah.
Getting paid being in the ocean was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and I bet you're obviously loving in the water and stuff.
Yeah, I think the creative side of things as well. We did things like on lakes paddleboarding, just in the moment making up games. Just learning about different age groups as well, what the changes are from when I was in their shoes. to
Yeah.
What it's looking like now.
So did you do that when you were growing up then? Would you have done that?
Yeah, I went to Slovenia camps growing up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was interesting being on the other side,
Yeah.
being called sir. You can't imagine that either.
Nah, definitely not. I can imagine you doing all the camp stuff, getting up to no good. You know, but
I never get up to no good.
sure. But obviously, so just going back to you kind of bit like where you grew up. Obviously, we're based on the Central Coast. The studio in Terrigal. Obviously, before you start with us, you were up living it up a bit further
Wyonga,
north.
yeah.
Wyonga. It's like where I'm saying where is that?
Yeah, the opportunity you gave for me to come here, I thought was too good to toss up. I was living out in my van, traveling up and down the coastline during the whole pandemic.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that because I technically was living out in my van.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Hey Jack, do you want to come down to start up? So I got in my van, came back down. Then we went back into my mum's place at Wyonga. It's about 45 minutes to 50 with a bit of traffic from the studio. It was, a bit of a pain getting up nice and early coming in, but I knew that the transition and this is where I wanted to be, where I really wanted to stay, the community I wanted to be in.
Yeah.
So strived hard, pushed hard.
Yeah. Well, I remember as well. When you applied and stuff for the role, the big things which you look out for is obviously somebody who's going to be standing out from the rest, essentially. So I remember, after that initial phone call, I think you were away or something, and then
I was in Queensland.
Yeah, in Queensland, and your dad, and then you made a special attempt to come back. And then I remember as well, after I think it was after the phone call or something. I think you sent a text later on to say, thanks, for the phone call, blah blah blah. And then you just always responded and really, being on the ball as far as coming back to me, and I think even after you had the interviews, really good to meet you, looking forward to hear from you soon, sort of thing. And that's what especially what we look out for is that point of difference and using your initiative and being able to and obviously when you were living 45 minutes away, getting up every morning to come to come into outdoor training essentially with a car full of dumbbells and stuff. It's especially at 5 o'clock in the morning in the winter when it's raining and we're stood outside. Obviously that's the commitment, where you said before about the client being committed, it's you were committed. So I'm not sure if you know that's how I felt about it at the time, but obviously that was big difference for me personally, to look at. So I always commend you on that stuff.
Thank you for the van full of fitness here.
Well, even we also the vehicles you've been driving, and that one was that van at the time was the old Volkswagen Transporter.
Yeah.
And I think that was did they used to conk out with the lights on it regularly?
It got me around Australia. I can say that. I can't say it got me around fast or in one piece, but it got me around.
Yeah.
It would turn itself off at a red light. That is correct. It's calling.
But at least you made it to the sessions and stuff. Anyway, it's kind of it did the job
Always
as well.
made it.
All right, change of tack a little bit. So, mate, tell us something that no one really knows about you. Maybe an experience, maybe something about yourself personally. Maybe share something that maybe somebody, I don't know, a bit like we said before about you know, you were like 113 kilos like a few years ago. Like, not many people know that. Is there anything else there that?
Well, comparing myself to what they don't believe is people don't realise I was someone that would wake up at midday.
Yeah.
Pretty much every day. I would stay up and game until like 3 or 4 in the morning. I haven't touched a PlayStation for maybe 2.5 to 3 years now. But
Yeah.
I used to back when I was in that phase, staying up gaming up until 2, 3, 4 ridiculous times in the morning, sleeping in till ridiculous times in the morning, and then having probably 1 or 2 meals, feeling like crap, and then doing it all over again.
Yeah.
People definitely don't see me being the style of person to do that with how energetic and
Yeah.
maybe crazy I am.
Yeah. A massive lifestyle shift that though, isn't it?
Yeah. Like I said, it's just a chain reaction of what you do.
Yeah.
One thing just evolves into 2 and 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Before you know it, making big changes.
What about you know, we also have the circle of influence and stuff as well, who you surround yourself with. You feel like that's a big key as well for you?
Yes, definitely. Surround yourself with positive people that put positive impacts in your life, and it makes a big difference, massively.
Yeah.
I think whenever I wanted directions around exercise, food, whatnot, you're a big part for my change. Just having those mates around me was a big thing as well. Whenever I was feeling a bit down or I wasn't in the right place, relying back on them to just remind me why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm going where I want to go. And also just looking at who's in my circle, what have they done for their lives, am I around the right people? I think that was a big thing too. Like, not necessarily what careers do they have and things like that, but are they driven? Do they get up in the morning? Are they engaging in doing something for themselves, doing something for others? Are they wanting to get more out of life, or are they staying in the same circle that I was in and not moving out of that?
Yeah.
And they're making themselves uncomfortable and growing.
Yeah.
I think seeing other people do that motivated me as well. So I think, yeah, your circle of influence is a massive one in your change.
And I remember as well, on the flip side of that, I remember a conversation maybe it was 2 months ago or something like that we had. I think it was like at the time you were like, I think you felt like a little bit let down by a few people in your life at the time, and you were like flipped it around, like, you know what, I'm actually going to be the role model for that. I'm going to start acting even more what I want people to around me to be like. So I'm going to take the lead for that and then show other people how to be like how I want to be, or how they should be as well. And I think that's like,
I think I remember that. It was someone was having a bit of a bad day and they're taking it out on yourself, up your standard, be extra nice.
yeah,
And what have they got to be mad at you for, or anger, or let down? And then they're going to take, okay, I'll actually probably lighten up, be a bit nice, or something. And then they might take a different approach to the next person they see, and they'll be nice. And before you know it, the smile's contagious.
yeah. And I think, like I say, that that positivity as well does come back to you. If you put out the good positive energy regularly, then it literally is a matter of time before it comes back around, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, positive energy out should come back around. Bit of a boomerang, hopefully.
I'm just going to stop that there. I'll go to the next one. I'm gonna go with like a bit of like some life values. Advice you give to yourself previously. And I might be another couple to me actually. Another 5 minutes, mate, I reckon.
Yep.
Can't sit for fucking too long.
Did you see me this morning? I was in and out. I don't know, I was just like, I'm buzzing. I had a coffee too early.
Peaked too early. Yeah, because it's full like 30 minutes pretty much. So, mate, essentially, next little question for you. What would you say you value the most from your life? Like, what are your life values?
Loyalty, big one. I think if you're going to get anywhere in life, you need to have loyal people around you, and you're only going to have loyal people around you if you're loyal to yourself. So, being known for loyalty and respect, big one. I think just every day, respect people. Respect everybody, be respected. I think dedication. Dedicated in whatever field that you're in. You show dedication, you're always going to strive in whatever field that you're in. I think that'd be well to myself.
Yeah, the top sort of three. Yeah. It's definitely works personally and professionally, doesn't it? With those sort of like three elements, I suppose, and I suppose it comes back down to surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously treat people the right way, like you want to be treated. Is definitely a key element. Sometimes you're having a bad day in particular, and you like lash out with someone. You're like, well, if that was on the flip side, like how would you feel?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's a big key element. You know, when it comes to looking at yourself internally as well.
Yeah. The reality is, one bad thing is going to have a double negative, whereas one positive is going to have one positive.
Yeah.
So, extra nice.
Yeah, it's so true. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So 25 now, aren't we?
Yep. 30.
So 30. Like, what does Jack Suthers look like?
Really
Apart from-
luscious mustache.
Fucking you're November 24/7.
Yes. I see myself well
So now-
work in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to get my bearings bound. Finding out where my niche is.
Yeah.
I see myself being known in the fitness industry. So, just an example of that, if someone's looking for a trainer on the coast or someone around, I want my name to be popped up.
Yeah.
So, well known. I see myself with a lot more attributes around my fitness. So, I would like to have competed by then 5 years in a CrossFit competition.
Oh yeah.
So
That's an element that you're really, enjoying and
I'm loving, yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I'm loving my CrossFit. A lot of fun.
I think in the past as well, I don't know about you, but it's probably got like people hated it or even hate to see, maybe people still do now. Kind of like I've not really been in a big massive gym facility, so I couldn't really tell you from personal experience in the last year and a half, I'd say, but you just get back out loads.
Oh yeah, they're a hated species, but they're only hated by the people that can't do the movements.
So, yeah, indeed it is, yeah.
So,
But yeah, obviously you're enjoying that. You like to compete in some kind of
yeah, I'd like to have competed in some kind of competition.
outside that comfort zone again.
Yes. I see myself with less injuries. I've been putting a lot of focus in my mobility, my range of motion. Just making sure that I'm being as flexible as possible to prevent any further injuries happening. So I see myself with a healthier, happier body.
Yeah.
I think the effort I'm putting in so we can grow from here.
Yeah. I know you kind of don't know, a bit of a curveball question, I suppose, 5 years time and stuff, but
Yeah.
and I know sometimes you like to go a little bit shorter for yourself and like focus on one little thing at a time.
Hopefully a right arm sleeve.
Maybe tattoo.
Yes.
For a bit.
I do see myself with a bit more ink.
Yeah.
Referring to in 5 years' time. Hopefully a nice European lady finds me.
Yeah. Maybe you should do my body trips in between now and then.
Yeah.
Just like, probably. What would you say then, what would you say then to it 5 years previously to yourself? So what advice would you give to that person? Imagine you look in the mirror 5 years ago, what would you say in that reflection?
Set your alarm earlier. I think a big thing for me was not waking up early enough. I didn't have the mentality of if I'm waking up too late, I've wasted the day. The mentality of I wasted the day was big for me.
Yeah.
I got through so much more of my day days if I just got up earlier. So set my alarm much earlier.
Yeah.
I think not being probably not being too comfortable. I think I was just staying in my comfort zone for too long. It wasn't until I started stepping outside of that and really testing my mentality as well as physicality that I started to grow a bit. So I think start testing myself a bit earlier. Just don't be so comfortable all the time.
Yeah.
I think they're two big ones.
Yeah, two
I think
big
they're
ones.
what sparked my change. So
Yeah. Kind of a bit more like attacking the day, a bit more by the sound of it. If you like want to get up early, that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
I think if I just started attacking my day a bit more aggressive and earlier,
Yeah.
I would have gotten to where I am
Yeah.
a lot quicker.
Yeah. Sometimes that is that kind of lazy mentality, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like bad sleeping or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But I think it comes down to finding what you're passionate about as well. And if you get up with a reason, you've got a bigger reason to get up, or finding that why, as we spoke about earlier. So when you know yourself and like what that why is, it's like focus on that, focus on what you like, enjoy doing and passionate about, then everything else just comes like falls into line.
Yeah, believe in energy in the universe. Put
Yeah.
energy into it. It's not like I'm believing you should put energy in. The doors are going to open itself.
Yeah, so true. And I good one I was talking to somebody the other day about was almost like looking at yourself, like looking at every element of your life and be like, oh, well, how much effort have you put into that element of your life? Let's say it's relationships with your partner. Like how much effort have you put into it? It's like 40%, and are you happy with that return essentially on that 40% effort? Because it's, you know what I mean. Sometimes what you put, I just say what you put in, you get out.
Yep.
So, you know, other elements, fitness, your training, you know, your own development, reading books, or it could be anything. Yeah, as I said, relationships or friendships. Like if you put like zero effort into friendships and you got no mates, it's like, well, what do you expect? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So if you put out 100% into like reach out to people constantly, then you're probably going to get that back. So I think it's a really good one to put into every aspect of your life. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Plenty of areas you can talk about on that. Same with, I hear all the time, my legs really, really tight. Have you stretched? No. What have you done? I've sat down on my desk on my computer.
Yeah.
Did you have 5 minutes of an interval just having a nice little stretch? No. Could you have? Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you want to feel better? I do. Put energy in. Get energy out.
Yeah.
And you'll feel better.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it, 100%. Well, mate, I think that's going to wrap us up.
Sweet.
Well, mate, I really do appreciate your spending the time having a chat with us and obviously introducing yourself. And yeah, mate, we're looking forward to seeing your continued growth and getting that CrossFit comp booked in. No pressure.
Yeah, I'll make myself nervous eventually. Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. We'll see you. I'll see you on the next one, and enjoy.